Hello, welcome back to My Big Easy Home. I'm Kayla, and this is your source of all of the best things in New Orleans. And today I am in Treme with Theresa Thomas. She is the Plant Bae at Crazy Plant Bae.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Good name, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. It very much describes who we are and what we do.
Awesome. So tell everybody about Crazy Plant Bae. What is it?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me firstly.
No, thank you.
So Crazy Plant Bae is it's a family business. It's myself, my mom, and my sisters. We started as an online plant store around the end of 2019 and into 2020, and then towards the end of 2020, in November actually, so we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, we opened a location at 800 North Claiborne Avenue in New Orleans.
And it's a beautiful space. You said it was a event venue before the pandemic, and so now you guys are filling it. It's great. The natural light in here is great. There's the most beautiful chandelier I have ever seen hanging from the ceiling.
Thank
so
you.
It's a really great space for you guys here.
Thank you.
How did you get into the plant business?
Yeah. So my mom had a plant store back in the 80s in San Francisco. We're originally from California. So she's always had an interest. We've always had beautiful plants around. She stopped, obviously, focusing on my sisters and I as we were younger. And I've always had a love for edible gardening. So I do a lot of outdoor gardening as well. So just as a way to kind of give my mom something to do after she retired and something she was familiar with and something she loved, we launched Crazy Plant Bae as a family business.
Nice. I love that. Family business, was that something you always thought that you would do, or did it just kind of organically happen for you guys and sort of looking out for your mom? And
a little bit of both. So my family and I own the event venue, so we already have some experience working together. This is a completely different animal. Obviously, retail is so different than anything else. So although we work together daily from the event venue perspective, retail is just so different. So definitely different.
yeah, you like working with family?
I do.
You can you can answer it. We can cut it out if it's not a good answer.
No, I don't mind working with family. Definitely, it redefines the dynamics of family. So my mom and I'll get into a fuss in here over something, and I'm like, look, you're my coworker here.
Yeah.
You're not the mom, you're the coworker. And she's like, I'm leaving. Or I'll want to leave, and I'm like, Mom, I'm leaving. And she's like, you're my coworker.
Yeah.
Sorry, you don't get to tell me when you're leaving. So it's fun. It has its benefits. I get to spend a ton of time with my mom, constantly in communication with my sisters. My niece is actually the owner of the company, and she's 6. So It's really fun to...
Always good to defer leadership to the kids in a lot
sure.
of ways, I think, because they're so pure of heart, and like they don't have an agenda. They're not coming from any particular place,
Exactly.
I
So
love that.
it's really fun around the holidays. Most of our conversations are about plants now, and who got this new plant and whose plant collection is the best. And my niece ultimately has the final say, right? So we'll show her the pictures of each of our new plant, and she'll be like, well, I think yours is better.
Right.
So that's always fun.
I love that. I have to say I envy you a little bit. I think that I would probably honestly be my most happy if I were just like working with nature.
For sure.
All day.
There's been studies that have proven that just playing in soil increases your mood, right? And it's a different energy being around plants than being around people every day.
Yeah.
But definitely, the energy in here is really good, and it does give you a chance to disconnect. So obviously, in the era of social media and just phones going all the time, it's nice to just have the quietness of the shop some days.
Yeah. I know. I love being out in the yard, just kind of with a pot and some soil and a plant, and just, like you said, just getting your hands in it. There's something that's very calming about it, shifts your mood, very therapeutic for
Absolutely.
me. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
One day, when I retire, I'm going to be a planter or something. I'll figure it out. What's been the biggest surprise to you being a business owner?
I think the biggest surprise for me as a business owner, especially in today's age with businesses, right, is just how you have to accommodate so many different people, right? And that's always been a thing. But you never know where someone is. So I have people that'll come in here and they'll be in here for a couple hours, and I want to just be like, look, go home, right? Take all the plants and go home. But it's a place for people to get out the house, right?
Yeah.
Or to be in a different environment than what they're accustomed to whatever they have going on. And just really taking the time to listen to everyone's story is different. Some people have hundreds of plants, and I'm like, wow, so are you sure you want some more?
Right.
And some people are
never have too many plants.
I agree. Some people are new plant parents. So just, I've just been so surprised at the support and just the interest in plants.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you mentioned listening, and it's so interesting. It's kind of been a theme of the last few interviews that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Listening has come up a couple times as just a lesson or something that's really important, or it's just coming to understand and really appreciate how important being able to just listen
For sure.
to other people is. And I think it's a big theme for our modern time and our American culture to just like not speak and listen and hear, you said, other people's stories. Just listen to people talk about what's real for them, and I think there's something powerful about that. And I think it's an honor to have someone share themselves with you in that way, and so kind of a gift that you get and that you give, and
Definitely.
being able to do
So pre-pandemic, my career was in hospitality, so everyone knows that bartenders get the earful all the time. And
Is that what you were? Were you a bartender?
Mm-hmm. I've been in food and beverage forever. But it's a similar feel sometimes. Like, people just need someone to bounce something off of.
Yeah.
And they may come in here for a plant, and it'll remind them of their grandmother, and then they've got something going on with their family, and they just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they leave with a plant that they remember seeing in their grandmother's house when they were younger, and it just brings back this whole time for them. So
That's nice. Do you have a most memorable customer?
I love working with kids. So one thing that's really cool about the shop is that we'll repot plants for you, and we'll show you how to repot. So having kids be able to pick out a plant and pick out a pot, and going through the entire process with them, and then seeing them come back in a couple months and tell me all about it, and be so excited because their plant has 10 new leaves or has grown this much. So just working with kids and just getting them interested in plants and nature and all of that is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. What would you most want people to know about Crazy Plant Bae?
I think what I want people to know the most is that there's a plant for everyone, and that in our
Even people who think they have a black thumb.
Right. There's definitely a plant for everyone. There's something that can accommodate the light that you have, that can accommodate your schedule. And we can help you find that either in the shop, or we can make some recommendations on some of the other great shops in the city. We also have a plant care app that you can download the app, take a picture of your plants, we'll see notifications when it's time to water. So as a new plant parent, that's a great way to get on a schedule. Or if you've got a ton of plants and it's hard to keep track of them all, that's really helpful. But I think that's what I want everyone to know, that even if you've never had a plant before, there's a plant waiting for you.
Yeah, that app sounds like a great tool. Is it called Crazy Plant Bae?
It's actually called Greg, so it's a partnership app.
Okay.
His name is Greg. He's this cute little green blob thing, but it's amazing. There's so many cool features about it. So
cool. So you're from California originally. You mentioned the Bay Area. Is that where you're
Yes.
from? Okay. I love the Bay Area. I was able to spend some time there in 2019. I spent a whole month in Berkeley, and then just kind of exploring that whole area, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The weather is so perfect. We don't really get as much time to spend in nature here throughout the year because we're a little bit weather limited at times, but yeah, absolutely beautiful area of the country. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
For sure. And what's so unique about California and the Bay Area specifically is that there's so much diversity of scenery so close. So in a couple hours, you can be in the mountains, you can be in the snow, you can be in the ocean, the desert, all of it's right there. And I think that having explored that as a child really helped to define my love for plants. Even though we don't have a ton of diversity of scenery, there's still a lot to do in New Orleans that'll get you out into nature, right? So obviously wander around the plant shop, it's a great place to be. But even the botanical gardens. So at City Park, just getting in there, and there are so many small sections of the park that have labeled plants. I was fortunate to be a part of LSU's Master Gardener program this year, so we spent countless hours just wandering around, learning about native plants and invasive species and all kinds of things. Anywho, but the botanical gardens is a huge asset to the city. So
Yeah.
check it out if you guys haven't gone.
Love the botanical garden. It's also came up in another interview that I did recently. Free for Louisiana residents on Wednesday, so you have no excuse. Go out there and check it out. It really is
Really
an
nice.
asset to the city and to the population here that we get to enjoy that. So how long have you been in New Orleans?
I have been, forever. So my family's originally from New Orleans. So my cousins, aunts, uncles are all here. So I visited as a kid, of course. I actually moved down for college. So I went to LSU. So I was there for 6 years. So I've been in New Orleans for right at about 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in particular do you have like a favorite thing about the city?
Honestly, I like City Park.
Yeah.
I like City Park. I like Audubon Park. I think the ability to just kind of get lost in the parks in the city is really cool. I went horseback riding through Audubon Park a couple years ago.
I want to do that.
It was really cool.
I'll have to get that information from you because I really would love to do that.
For sure. I go skating in City Park all the time. So I think just the parks. You know, the French Quarter is great and I love architecture. But to be able to just like follow the trails in Audubon and get lost is always really nice.
Yeah, I live not too far from City Park, and it's one of my one of the reasons that I love being in that part of town so much is because it's really quiet and there's a lot of nature around
sure.
you, and you don't quite feel so much like you're in the city.
Right. You can literally park on, I think that's City Park Avenue, and just take a couple steps to the bench.
Yeah.
I sat there yesterday and read a book. So.
Oh, lovely. Well, you'll have to let me know next time, and I'll come get some beignets or something with you.
I know. I love. There's beignets all over City Park now.
I know. So tell people so that you are located, have a physical store here in New Orleans on 800
North Claiborne Avenue. It's a red brick building on the corner. We're on social media, Crazy Plant Bae, and Bae is spelled B-A-E, on everything, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the kid stuff. And then crazyplantbae.com. It is the kid stuff.
I feel the same way about TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok. Sorry, like not gonna happen.
It's got some really cool features.
Yeah.
And my niece, I'm probably gonna just let her manage our account. But you know, they've got it down pat. They're like born with
They're
that
born
kind of
knowing
stuff.
how to do that. It's unreal. I had a coworker who was like, my son just completely rearranged everything on my desktop on my computer. And he was like 3 at the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. So.
It's amazing the way that they're born knowing how to navigate technology that I'm still fumbling over, you know. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
Not so much. Not so much on Twitter.
Okay.
Not so much on Twitter.
I will tag all of those things in the description of the video so you guys can easily find it. And then Crazy Plant Bae.
crazyplantbae.com. Or crazyplantbae@gmail.com if you have any questions or anything like that. We do indoor house plants, but we also do edible gardening as well.
And you ship.
Yes, we do. We ship nationwide. We send a ton of gifts out, especially around the holidays. We do gift packs and holiday cards and all of that.
Nice. Okay, well, I have a lot of people who watch this from outside of New Orleans, so you guys can also enjoy some beautiful plants from Theresa and her mom and her sisters and her niece and the Crazy Plant Bae. So thank you so much
Actually,
for
thank you so much.
sitting down with me and doing this and just, saying yes to a random person on the internet who was like, I want to talk to you. And you were like, okay, great.
I'm always excited to talk about plants.
My favorite kind of people. So thanks again.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it. All right, guys, if you have any questions about plants, if you want to buy some plants, if you want to learn about plants, hit up Theresa. And if you have any questions about real estate, you can contact me wherever you are watching this video. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.